Welcome to Live at 5:55 with Joseph. Hope you're having a great day today. And I just want to start this out by saying when I use the word ignorance, I mean it as a lack of knowledge. So when you look at your life, where are you lacking knowledge in your life? Where's ignorance showing up in your life? And I'll tell you something. Most people would say, yeah, the heck with you, nowhere. Okay. Are you going to a job that you can't stand? Do you get up Monday mornings already dreading the week ahead because of how busy you are and how far behind you feel like you always are? If you are doing that day after day, living that 1 year, 90 times in that, there's some lack of knowledge going on in your life. My whole purpose isn't to sit here and judge anybody. It's taking tools that I've learned and processes I've been through and the struggles that I've experienced in my life. And it's helping other people to go through those struggles and get to the other side, get to that higher level of more fulfilling living in their life. So I brought along a little friend tonight to share with you. And I want to kind of walk through this. So when we look at the conscious mind is the conscious mind is whatever we're focused on. What our thoughts and our words and where we spend our time, whether we get stuck in CNN, constant negative news, it's the people we hang around with, the things we read, all of that is where our focus is a conscious mind. The subconscious mind absorbs whatever the conscious mind is focused on. The subconscious mind doesn't determine good or bad, right or wrong, like from dislike even. It just absorbs whatever the conscious mind is focused on. And then the body carries out the actions of the subconscious mind. Okay, so based on that, when you have somebody who's living in ignorance, lack of knowledge, I'll say, in other words, people that live in worry, doubt, fear, negative thinking, negative self-talk, people that live like that, they follow this chain down from fear on through. As fear grows, it builds up into anxiety. Now, have you ever experienced anxiety? Because that anxiety then, not attended to, will continue to spiral down into procrastination. It'll lead into forms of depression and ultimately dis-ease. I talked about this the other day, but ultimately dis-ease. Knowledge, coming from a knowledge base, understanding we don't know everything, but continuing to be in that knowledge base of that growing, that expanding mode of our life, which is how the wealthiest 1% of the people live, by that knowledge base. The masses typically live by the ignorance. Now, there's some knowledge in that. We grow some, but when we're living through our patterns, our paradigms, and our conditions, we're living through a lack of knowledge. So on the knowledge side is where you get into coaching programs. It's where you study. It's where you understand. You listening to this live right now is you building on your knowledge base. It leads to more positive thinking. And it's living life more by faith than by fear. That's the opposite sides of what we experience based on whether we're coming from a knowledge or lack of knowledge. And then from the faith, we end up well-being. We end up living freer. We end up living easier. Life is calmer. We're responding to situations rather than reacting to them. And the reason for that is we're living at a different vibration. When we live from a knowledge base, when we live from that positive thinking and that faith-based, we end up responding to the situations that happen. When we're living on the other side, that lack of knowledge side, we're at the same vibration as our situations and circumstances. So that's why life can feel like a whack-a-mole game where we're just handling this one, then this one pops up and we handle that and two other ones pop up and we try to get to and we're just constantly reacting to life situations. From the calm and well-being state is where we start taking different actions. We start taking more positive actions. We take actions and then we see acceleration, or what we call results, quicker and easier happening in our life. And we end up living a life at ease. So I wanted to use this illustration to help make the point for tonight. I hope it did so. And I'll tell you, I've lived on both sides of this. I've lived from that ignorance place. I've lived in that knowing I know everything I need to know and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to charge and I know what to do. And every time I do that, I'm coming from the patterns, the paradigms, the conditions of my past that continue to run me right into a freaking wall. And today I know to turn to knowledge, to turn to insight, to turn to looking for, seeking help, seeking assistance to get the hell out of that other side. And as I do that, all of a sudden things get easier. I start building my faith. I start realizing who and whose I am, that I belong to. And I start moving more into that calmness versus living in that state of anxiety. If you're in that state of anxiety, if you're living on that left side there that we talked about, you don't have to. It's not your fault that you're there. None of us signed up for our conditioning that we experienced, our conditioning from our parents growing up and our siblings and our family, and then on to school and our friends. And, none of us signed up for the conditioning we have. But the only way to change it around, sorry about that blip there, the only way to change it around is by making a choice to. It's not our fault that we had the conditioning that we had. But it is our choice to stay there. If this resonates with you at all, reach out. I put a link in the post here. Just click on that and schedule a 45-minute call with me, and we'll jump on the phone and we'll walk through what those limitations are right now. Where is that lack of knowledge carrying out in your life? And then help move you to that other side, and I'll give you some tools that you can start applying to shift your life into that other side. I offer these calls at no cost. The reason I do that is because my passion is to inspire, motivate, and lead millions of people to living better lives. And the reason I do that, and I'm so strong about this passion is so strong in me, I resigned from a very large income within corporate America, from a high-level position in corporate America with golf course membership and all kinds of other little extras and stuff, because my passion is so strong to lead into helping other people change their life, to not have to live in those limitations, to not have to live through ignorance. But I can't do everything. You need to click on the link and schedule that call. And again, if it's not for you, I understand that. God bless you. But if you're one of those people living that 1 year over and over and over and you can't stand it anymore, if you can't stand going to the job that you do, if you can't stand feeling like your relationships get bottomed out or hit a wall constantly every time good things happen, if you feel like it, the old scenario, one step forward, two steps back, if you're experiencing that in your life, if you're struggling with your weight, body image, any of that, it's worth the 45 minutes of your time that I'm giving to you. That's typically a $250 fee for a call like that with me. But through these live at 5s, or 555s, I offer it to you as my way of helping you open up your door to experience greatness, to experience fulfillment, and to experience your absolute best life possible. So have an awesome day, and God bless.